Cool. Let's go.
Okay. You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Sure. Hello there, friends, and welcome back to another episode of Football Manager Therapy. I am your host, Rich Owens. Joining me this week, we have the wonderful D-Boy Plays, and we have the equally wonderful Jebaroo. Jeb, how are we? How's things? How's life?
I've never played football again, or maybe I'm doing stretches. Maybe I'll do that instead next time I play football because I'm too old. My back really hurt last week, like really badly. I had to crawl out of bed one morning, and then the next morning I couldn't get out of bed. Well, I turned over to get out of bed, and I was in quite a lot of pain. And then Mimi was like, "Oh, I'm going to sit here." I was like, "Cheers, Mimi, nice one." Guess I'm staying in bed. But yeah, I seem to be doing a little bit better. But you know, my football career might be over.
Never say never, mate. Never say never. We are only ever a phone call away from Thomas Tuchel. That's the way I like to look at it.
Have you got his number?
Prepared. Same way I get most people's numbers. Guesswork.
Okay.
07000000001. 070000002. Thomas? No. And you just go on like that forever. And eventually, you strike it lucky. And then you get
eventually you're speaking to someone called Thomas. Yeah.
Yes. And they've promised me they're going to start me in the next set of fixtures. Don't know when, don't know where, but keep an eye. Keep an eye. Dee, have you had any conversations with somebody pretending to be Thomas Tuchel recently?
Just jokes on you. That was Tom FM that told you that. Sorry.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah, he was an England representative in like FM World Cup. That's why. Before he was in England manager, see, you fell for it.
That was it. Was it actually Tom F? That ruddy japester? Who does he think he is? Shattering dreams left, right, and centre.
What prankster? What prankster?
I know.
Sorry, D-Boy, that's the second week in a row I've interrupted your intro. Last week was a bit. Fine. Yeah, last week was a bit. This week, yeah, it was a bit as well. There you go. I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
let's keep it going.
Apologise to you, Rich. Shut up. Right, go on.
Yeah, I'm no phone calls from anyone called Thomas. Although I did hang out with a friend of pod and lovely human being Gavin Brash in person.
Oh,
this last week we both went to go and watch mid noughties screamo metalcore favourites, Bullet for My Valentine and Trivium, which was fun.
Oh,
yeah, I can relate to the back stuff because standing for 6 hours, I didn't like it. My back hurt, my feet hurt. I just wanted a seat, and there weren't any around. It's awful, really. But other than that, it was a wonderful night.
Gavin Brash likes that type of music as well. Very sharp.
I know he's usually so just chilled out. He usually listens to like Enya, isn't he? But turns out he likes metal. Who'd have thought?
Doesn't strike me as the kind of guy. Really doesn't. That surprises me. Occasionally, a real big fish at a push for Gav. That's about, as long as there's a trumpet involved, he can stay mellow.
He loves a trumpet, Gav.
Bloody loves a trumpet. That's why his name is Gub32, because that's the noise in his head a trumpet makes.
32.
It's not going to get any better than this tonight. Bye, everyone. It is. It's going to get so much better.
Shall we address the elephant in the room?
Yes.
Yeah? Yes.
Cool. Let's sort it. Yeah. Steak's not here tonight.
Yes. At the time of recording, it's his birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday, Steakity Bakety.
Happy birthday, Steaky.
But that's it, isn't it? That's about it. I don't think there's any other things to talk about.
That's been
the only.
I don't think there's much else to talk about this week. Is there?
We did that news pod on Saturday anyway, so we covered that off. So yeah,
we covered that.
Yes, we did. We did the hard hitting stuff on Saturday. I don't remember recording it, but I'm very happy with how it.
You were very professional in the intro, really professional. So you, B-boy. I interrupted you again. I'm sorry, I interrupted you 3 pods in a row now. Essentially,
it's not. It's really not a problem. It's really not a problem because you're passionate about what you're talking about, Jeb, and it's fine.
That's what's important, isn't it? A bit of passion, a bit of energy. More
Do you
passion,
want
more energy.
like a visual cue of what we're going to do today?
I would love a visual cue of what we're going to do today, because we
It would
are
help.
going to do something, aren't we?
Yeah.
Something.
Look, the celebrity shirts from last week are back.
Have
For
we
the
got more
audio
videos from
listeners-
Taf?
No, there's no videos
Yes.
this time around, and actually, they're not quiz questions. Sorry, it's not.
Ah.
Oh.
We're doing a Q&A, a very hastily
yeah.
arranged Q&A, because I haven't got anything else to talk about.
Pretty much.
Actually,
we had plans.
I did play Football Manager this weekend, but I skipped to the
I
end of the
saw.
season. Yeah.
I
So
saw that you logged on. I was like, oh my God, he's back.
I didn't know what was going on, so I just skipped to the end of the season. Went, I'll see what happens. I'll start a season again. Like I'd forgotten that much had happened with Sheffield Giants. There we are. I guess we could cover the network game very briefly. Not much happened.
Yeah. Fast forwarded.
It was quite worrying about 10:30 when we were in like September. that was a big worry.
Yeah. We're thinking, oh God.
And then
at
11:30, it was April, so it all worked out for the best in the end.
Yeah. And I got
Time
a new
flies.
job, so it's nice.
Nice.
Yeah. I kept mine because as it turns out, AI Rich is better at managing Manchester United than real life Rich. That's essentially what I picked up from the network save on Monday.
This was my shower thought as well. So Dee, you won the league again. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I won. And yeah, that was it. Just the league.
And what did you win, Rich?
I won the Carabao and the Europa.
Oh, you won the balls. I thought I was going to be the only person
have
to have
I
European
posthumously
glory.
ruined your shower?
Yeah, I thought it was the only one with European glory in the saved. I guess
Stakey won the Community Shield.
Yeah, Stakey got sacked in September.
Yeah,
very quickly. I feel like that happened.
Betrayed him so fast.
Yeah. And Kev joined us, which was lovely.
He did. That was so
Kev
nice.
Spurs played exactly how Kev Spurs played in the network save. So
they really did. Bless them.
Yeah.
We had a wonderful European clash against each other. Kev and I. We didn't play a second of it, but it happened.
It was there.
It categorically happened. Oh, great time!
Great evening. Great evening.
It was a bit of an anticlimax, wasn't it? How fast the season ended up going. We could be getting it was one of those like, oh yes. Oh God, it's like August. Guys, it's 9:30. I want to go to bed soon. So, we can apparently. It's fine. There you go.
Yeah, it's great. Easy. Flies by when you have a decent PC and just everyone goes on holiday for the pre-approved amount of time.
Yeah, exactly.
Super duper easy. Yeah. It was wonderful though. I love that save. Hope there's a question about favourite saves or something later, so I can talk about it more. But I suppose the only way to figure out if there is going to be a question based on favourite saves is if we start answering some. Should we do that?
Ooh. Clever, isn't it?
I know, right? I know.
Somebody going to pick a number. Go on,
That feels like a lot of commitment.
For the audio listeners, the celebrity shirts with 12 numbers on them.
And they are either side of the screen.
Yes.
Beautifully arranged at the bottom of the screen.
Go on, Rich, pick a number. Start us off, love.
Number 1, please. Question number 1.
I could have actually got YA Callum to us. YA.
Why Callum?
YA Callum.
Geordie Callum.
Could have asked this. Oh.
Yeah.
Well,
would you like me to read the question out? Because I know what they are. I can see them.
Go on, you go.
All right. I'll read the question. Number 1. This comes from our former podcast Booderino Y Callum. In a hypothetical world where FM25 doesn't happen, what do we all do?
Panic.
It's tough. Yeah. Riot.
React angrily, yeah. But only via keyboard.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, people have already done that. Sorry.
Use words like debacle. I think that's an important one to use.
Omnishambles. Yeah, use that word.
Oh, yes. Powerful.
That's a good word.
Yeah.
Why should we just get on with our lives, I guess?
Yeah.
Just live. Just live our lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait for the next one. Play something else. Play FM24 a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Play FM24 or inevitably play FM25 when it comes out, because of course it's going to.
Yeah,
Of course it's going
be
to.
nice and understanding.
Yeah, just be a bit patient.
Yeah,
Get it? It's fine.
I mean, we
you
waited this
go.
long. Can wait a little bit longer. I think that's
Just wait a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just wait a little bit longer. It's all going to be okay.
I did
This is
enjoy
the kind of hard-hitting journey.
Yeah, I like Work the Spaces tweet blaming Zealand though for asking for nicer graphics.
Yeah. C.
Yeah.
Z. All your fault.
Outrageous.
How dare he? I bet you regret taking into Pop World now, Jeb. I bet you regret that. If only you'd known, that would have set in a series of events leading to the subsequent delay of FM25.
I know.
A butterfly flaps its wings in China. Jeb buys Zealand a WKD blue in Pop World.
For £1.
Something else. FM25 is delayed. Thanks,
Hey.
Jeb.
Nice.
Yeah.
You know what's actually
I
quite
don't-
nice? That's the only question that we had in about FM25.
Isn't it
Yeah.
lovely?
Just despite saying don't ask any questions about FM25, Callum still did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Callum,
Yeah.
why you're not on the pod?
Thanks, Callum.
Really?
It does help us address the somewhat large elephant, though, because he's there, isn't it? But yeah, just play FM24 or go for a walk.
Yeah. Exactly. Exactly. Maybe both. FM Mobile. It exists. There you go. It's there to help
There
you
we go.
with your Netflix subscription. See, this is it. This is it. We're not going to use big angry words because why bother? Everything's okay.
Wait till we get to the
Well,
other questions.
Mm.
Right.
Oh, you just wait. Then the real opinions are all going to come flooding out. Don't you worry about that. My goodness gracious me. D, pick a number between 2 and 12.
Oh, I'm going to go for number 7, please.
Ooh,
Ooh.
question number 7. Would you like me to read this one out? I'm going to read them all out. It's my podcast.
Yeah,
I can
go
do
on.
what I want.
All right.
Jeb did a wonderful job of asking questions last week. I'm going to do half as good a job as him tonight. Question number 7. This comes from Dave Goodger and from Zenergy. If you could go back, which you quite easily could, I'd imagine, because Dave Goodger assumes we have access to time travel. If you could go back and stream any of the previous FMs, which would it be and what would be the save?
Ooh, that is a toughie. Steve, Mr. Hood Gaming, did actually release a video of the first ever Football Manager. I'm going to answer this, but I'm going a very long way around it. Did release a video of the first ever Football Manager in the series, and I did think that looked quite interesting. So I would probably go back to that one because I don't think I actually played that one. I remember obviously picking up later ones, but I don't think I actually played the very first Football Manager. So it'd be fun to experience that one. And then again, much like you get with a lot of the retro databases made by Mad or Mr. Teeny, you've got that lovely sort of, obviously, who's going to be good, and you can sort of have a bit of fun and sign all the fun players for your team. I would probably pick someone, whoever was in League 2 at that time, and just sort of have a bit of fun, really. Someone down there.
Reasonable. It's a nice way of doing things. You're right, because you hit the nail. When you play the retro databases or the old FMs, you know who to pick up, you know who to sign. So you just have a bit of a mess around. You're not there trying to discover the undiscovered wonderkids from 15 to 20 years ago, because they all, weirdly enough, they all got discovered, didn't they? Shockingly enough, you're not going to unearth a player that nobody's. Robinho, he sounds like don't remember him ever doing it. We could maybe Ronaldinho, you say? Interesting.
Nice.
Yeah, I hope nobody catches on to this. It's fun, isn't it? Go back, have a bit of fun. I like that. I like that as an answer. Just take a nice League 2 team, bring them up through the ranks. Have a bit of fun. Yeah, have a good time.
Something like
that. Yeah. Jeb, what about you? If time travel was a possibility in your world, where would you go and what would you do?
Mad's ruined it a little bit, actually. Selfish, Mad. And Mr. Teeny. Because I was going to say Derby bottom at Christmas, but you can actually do that on the retro database, can't you? But yeah, I'd go back and do like a bottom at Christmas with somebody who's doing dreadful. But I think Actually, no. Southampton had a couple more points at Christmas this time around. I'd go something along those lines, or maybe go right the way back. But even then, like Mad's done it as well. So go back to Championship Manager 2.
Yeah.
97, 98 was, some say, peak. 01, 02 as well. So yeah, going back to an old Championship Manager probably would be the way. Maybe go back to 2 and have that Liverpool squad of 95, 96. When it was around anyway. That's when the save update was. Yeah, I don't know. It's difficult. Maybe just actually go back to like FM. So probably FM 2011 when Liverpool had signed Robbie Keane. This would have been about 9, wouldn't it? Yeah, about 2009 that one. Or 8, yeah, 2008, 2009. When Liverpool had Robbie Keane, Fernando Torres and Steven Gerrard and Joe Cole, and they didn't make it work. Go back and do some of those lines. Or go to the Roy Hodgson era and go, oh, look, Milan Jovanovic. Oh, look, Paul Konchesky. Oh, look, other person, Danish.
Other
Christian
players.
Christian Poulsen. Oh, yes. Look at all these great players. Get rid of them all. Get rid of them all. Start again. Do it properly. What about this young whippersnapper called Luis Suarez? Let's bring him in. Let's see what he can do. Maybe a bit of fun with that.
What about you, Rich? Where are you going?
You know what? Just because I've got it on my laptop and I seldom play it, but when I do, it makes me really, really happy. Championship Manager 102. Just dip back into that. Text only. None of this match engine malarkey. Text only. And back in the day when a goalkeeper could still get sent off on Football Manager. Oh, powerful. Goalkeeper red cards. You should never see them anymore. But I've got a screenshot on my laptop somewhere, and it was I've got a save with Celtic, and both of my goalkeepers got sent off in the same game, and I was giddy.
Incredible.
I was so happy. Like, one got sent off, and I was like, "Ooh, what a day!" The second one got sent off. I was like, "This is it. Football has peaked. There is no point in trying to do anything else after this ever, because it is never going to get this good." It was just a bit of fun. Stream a little bit of that. Go back to basics. Champ Manager 102. Lovely bit of nostalgia. And then for the younger viewer, for the younger audience member who may never have experienced it firsthand, see, this is why you should be grateful for what you have now, because this is all we used to have. Just words, maybe a stick and a hoop you'd push down the lane when your laptop had run out of battery. Like, that was it. When you weren't allowed on the family computer. Yeah, when you weren't allowed on the family word processor, because your dad was writing a strongly worded letter to the bank. So you had to go out for ages because dad types with one finger very aggressively. Stick and a hoop. But between stick and a hoop, can't
get onto MSN Messenger because your mum's on the phone.
Yeah. Stick and hoop simulator, my favourite. Can't get enough of it.
You are aware.
You can start out with the best stick and hoop going from Toys R Us, or you can start out essentially unemployed and do it. Stick and hoop journeyman. Urchin to Regal stick and hoop owner, where you actually have somebody else to push the stick and hoop around for you. Brilliant. Yeah, ask the board to upgrade the local hill so you can get it down there really, really fast. They say no, because that's just physically impossible for us. Sorry, what was the question?
You can actually download Champ Manager 102. You have to burn it to CDs and stuff. Yeah, if you're clever enough, you can burn it to a fake CD.
I mean, there's literally a website that just tells you how to do it without one.
Exactly.
You could,
but some people can't follow those simple instructions. So.
I'm surprised I could. I'll be completely honest with you. The fact that I have it on my laptop and it works terrifies me. Yeah. Absolutely terrifies
me. After working with certain members of the FM community, you are very technically literate. Well done.
Best day of my life. We won't name names. We could name names, but we won't name names. Jeb, pick a number between 2 and 12, not including number 7.
I'll go number 4.
number 4. Question number 4. Oh, question number 4 is from our former podcast Budarino, Kev, the United City FM. Hello, Kev. Wonderful question. Thank you so much for asking it. If you could team up with one footballer, past or present, to live stream with, a la Tony Jameson and Steve Sidwell, who would it be and why? And also, what would the sponsor of the stream be? Such a good question. Weirdly well thought out question from Kev. That's unlike him. It's not. Classic Kev. Textbook United City. Jeb, who are you streaming with, and what is sponsoring the stream?
Do I go for route 1?
Yeah.
Go route 1?
Yeah.
Just
Sam
do it.
Go
Allardyce.
route 1.
Sam Allardyce.
Perfect.
Bisto.
Perfect.
Sorry. I
Perfect.
have to do that.
Match made in heaven.
Yeah.
Match made in heaven.
Excellent.
Or
I think he'd be up for it. I think Sam Allardyce would love a bit of it because he was there at the FIFA World
Yeah,
Cup,
yeah.
wasn't he? And he didn't. We were all joking about him, about him being there, but he's a technically savvy man. Is old Allardyce?
he was one of the first people to bring in data analysts.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw them in America and went, oh, they're fancy. I love them. Other one, we'll keep going. Neil Warner, Kenson's Relish. Done.
Nice.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Although you
D,
might get
who's your
angry.
dream? Oh no, never get angry. Who's your dream collab? D, what have you got?
Oh, this. I mean, one that would be amazing would be. I think Peter Crouch would be really good for that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Peter Crouch would be a funny person just to hang out with in general, but doing a live stream with him would be pretty great. And then the sponsor. I mean, it's gonna be everyone's favorite piping hot pint of Guinness.
Yes.
Or yes, that Guinness, a fictional beverage.
If somebody could invent Guinness,
Yeah.
market it to the masses, and then sponsor this podcast, it feels like a very long-winded way of giving us money, but it would also make us laugh because of a bit on the network save. So can make that happen.
Or I mean, I don't know. Do you know? Actually, no. Ben Foster would be pretty good. Ben Foster would be good for that. And then sponsor for it. I just get him to do it. Yeah, Cycling GK can sponsor it. Get that on there. That'd be all right.
Get it on there. Bit of
Go and ride some
cycling
bikes
GK.
and stuff.
Bit of Fozzie.
Manager. Yeah.
He'd love it. He'd be well up for it. Again, it's a good shout because he knows, he understands the power of the internet. He's got the YouTube. He's mates with all the sidemen, isn't he? He's one of the only people in the country over the age of 35 that knows what a sideman is. So he's got that in his locker. Good for him.
Go.
It's
Not
Phil Brown was Sam Allardyce's sideman, wasn't he? Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you picking, Rich?
I mean, there's one obvious answer, isn't there? It's Carlton Palmer.
Yeah.
Carlton Palmer would be a treat because I think he'd get really into it. I think he would get really, really into it. It would have to be a Mad Scientist retro database just so he could see himself in the game.
Yeah.
That would be the one. And then again,
Matt did him
sponsorship,
dirty, didn't he, though, actually? Thinking about Carlton Palmer.
He did, well,
A little
see,
bit.
I'm looking at a little bit, a smidgen dirty. He's either phenomenal, but then he's got, weirdly enough, like he's got a technique of 4.
Yeah, it was always technicals on like those. When you go back to the 92, 93, it's just like you've got one extreme on the physicals. And then you get to the technicals, like, oh yeah, he's got dribbling of 1. We could run really
Yeah, there's
fast.
no middle ground.
Yeah.
There's no middle ground with the technicals. Like they can either do it or they
give
can't.
him the ball. Yeah.
Yeah. It'd be brilliant, but he's got 4 technique, but 20 work rate, so he can be. He could have poor technique for the full 90 minutes, and I respect that. I think he'd love a bit of it. And we'd probably have to be sponsored by Guinness ripoff Guinness. I think sponsored by delicious pints of cold Guinness, which is that the way to enjoy a beverage cold? Who's to say? Carlton would be my shout, or alternatively, Olivier Giroud. just so I could like sit there and look at him like this the whole time. Just not say a word.
He's
Get
on some
lost in those
manly.
eyes.
Good lord.
Just hope.
So it's also be against TOS because he'd be topless. Wouldn't he?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do we have to, Monsieur? Yes, Olivier. Yes, you do. And just hope he kisses me. And then there, what a stream. What an experience. What a time. If anybody disagrees with that, you're just objectively incorrect. We all want Olivier Giroud to kiss us. Let's just accept that and move on as people, shall we? Please and thank you. Good. Carlton Palmer, sensible stream. Olivier Giroud, light to medium petting. Good. Fantastic. Everyone's a winner. I'm going to pick a number now. I'm going to pick number 9. Question number 9. This comes from friend of the podcast, friend of the people, Ziggurath. Good old Zig. Got a question from Zig. Fellas, what is the correct consumption of a full English breakfast?
Composition.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, composition.
Consumption is via the mouth, and that is the only way that you should
I was
eat
going to say
an English breakfast.
Quickly,
Try and getting it into your system in any other way, you're doing it very wrong.
Or are you?
One bean at a time.
I was going to say, I read that Mark Bosnich, or heard that Mark Bosnich was snorting 10 grams of coke a day, like during his habit. But snorting a full English breakfast would probably hurt you and do more damage to you. So,
what, just a full link of sausages? Straight up there. Save the beans till last. Give your nostrils a break. It's the massive discs of black pudding. That's where the issue lies. I'm not going to read it again because I can't. The correct composition. I mean, obviously, use the sausage as a breakwater. That goes without saying, doesn't it? It's just breakfast etiquette. Sausage, bean, bacon, egg, hash brown, tomato,
mushroom.
I can take or leave a mushroom. I can take and leave a mushroom. And
there's mushrooms in there.
Horrible slimy things.
Black pudding is nonsense. So
yeah, we don't need that. Oh, toast or fried bread?
Yes. two toast, 1 fried bread.
Correct. Well done.
That is the correct method. The correct method. And for your wet to go with your dinner, you got to have brown sauce. Brown sauce is the correct wet for a full English.
I thought you meant as a drink then.
No. A cup of tea.
Nice mug of brown sauce.
Yeah. Healthy mug of HP.
That's 4-4-2 formation for me. You put your egg in net. You have your back four of your meat, of your 2 sausage and 2 bacon. Got your beans on one side. Got black pudding, mushrooms on the other, and hash browns holding out in the middle. 2 slices of toast up front.
Fantastic.
Yeah. All right,
fantastic. No international wonder kids on the bench like avocado. He's just not hanging out. No. Good.
No, good crikey. They're nowhere near it.
Yeah, and a proper fried egg, not poached. None of these fancy Dan poached eggs. Play with the ball.
I don't mind a scramble with a fry up.
Scramble's not bad, but scramble's got to be wet as well. Scramble's got to be slightly like someplace you get scrambled. Like, what have you done? And also, anywhere that does a buffet breakfast never gets scrambled eggs. That is packet egg.
No.
Nobody wants packet egg. Real eggs.
I'm looking at you, Premier Inn.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Listen, Premier Inn.
Yeah.
Sort it out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, they even get packet normal eggs as well, don't they? Come out.
Really?
How round is that egg? You want a little bit of crispy bit on the outside of it. Right?
Is this a new quiz round?
No, it's just because my company's preferred hotel chain is Premier Inn, so I don't eat their breakfast anymore because it's quite dull.
Okay. Well, that makes slightly more sense, I suppose, in the grand scheme of things. Lovely stuff. Well, I think we've hit everything there. And there's consume it with your mouth.
Yes.
Yes.
That's the correct method. The correct.
Yeah.
Although
the only method,
I do think D-Boy does a line of scrambled egg.
Sometimes. Hey.
He's been known. He's in high pressure situations.
Yeah.
He'll
crack out a boilie and just
exactly.
Go to town on it.
Yeah. Just like, do you want to wear? I've got a nice little bit of a white over it. And he's like, yeah, I prefer the yolk.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who'd have
I'll
a
take-
boiled egg with a boiled egg with
Yeah.
full English?
Boy, yeah, that's
Oh,
that'd be
it's just
atrocious.
dangerous.
That's who.
Yeah.
If you're look, we try and be as inclusive on this podcast as we possibly can. We respect all people from all walks of life, regardless of ethnicity, religion, anything to do with that. But if you're having a boiled egg with your full English, give your head a wobble. And you know what? Better than that, just whatever you're doing now, if you're at work, if you're in the car and you commute, if you're at home, just stop what you're doing and then just hand yourself in at your local police station. You absolute danger. How dare you?
Same for anyone who makes scrambled eggs in the microwave.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a straight up 5-year stretch. No,
Yeah. It's atrocious.
Not a difficult
absolutely
thing to make.
honking
Not a
behaviour.
difficult thing to.
it's not.
It's so easy.
All cooking is you get some food that isn't hot and you make it hot and then it's cooked. You don't need a microwave to do that. It's dead easy cooking. Just make the food hot for a little bit and then you've cooked it. Done. Easy.
So if FM25 doesn't come out, we're branching out into cooking.
Yeah.
Cooking advice.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Cheers,
are.
Ziggy. Much appreciated.
Thanks, Zick. You've unlocked something that Rich deeply cares about.
What are we going to do with this, Rich? Well, we're going to make it hot.
Make it hot.
Just make it hot.
Not with a microwave. Just make it hot, then cooked it. It's done. Easy peasy. Come on now. There you go. Food manager therapy. Done. Don't even have to change the branding. T, pick a number. Pick any of the remaining numbers on the board. Please.
Please.
Thank you.
I'm going to pick number 6, please.
Oh, question number 6. This is from ties in very nicely to the previous question. What makes food extra delicious? Salt. EB. Salty B has asked us if you could combine FM with any other video game, which game would it be and how would it work? I like this question a lot, Salty. You've done well there, mate.
Does he?
Nice.
I don't think he's done well. He's just copied my idea. I've been going on about this for years.
I was about to say you've been talking about this for the past few.
This has
episodes.
come up. This has come up before.
Yeah, Sims. Spend your player wages in The Sims 4. Get your players in there as well, so you can go tell them off if they're at a nightclub late at night, and then get Tony to build your city and stadium in City Skyline, and wonder why nothing works and you can't play your games that week.
Yeah. Transferring between your towns and cities using Euro Truck Simulator. That's easy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice day out on Planet Coaster. You got to build the roller coasters before you go out on them.
for your morale booster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Satisfactory to generate the wonderkids.
Yeah, see, that makes sense.
Or uranium, one of the two.
Yeah. And
Or why not both?
Yeah, and then Elden Ring to fight the giant tree monsters that obviously lurk around your stadium.
Occupy most football stadiums for any of the
Which I
people that
pretend
aren't from the UK. Oh,
yeah.
The football is dangerous.
Yeah.
Yes. Touch the big green smoky wall you walk through, and then it's a giant monster with 70. Oh, it's just PSG. And, we have to slay them.
DayZ or Project Zomboid to reenact fan meetings.
I thought you were going to say a waitress to Hull.
The plucky squire, just because it's nice. Sometimes things are just nice. It's quite nice. I've been playing it with my kids. They quite enjoy it. It's good. We have a good time. I see. Jeb, we've already touched on this before, haven't we? The extended FM universe just makes complete sense. It makes complete sense.
For a full blending of two games, though. I was going to say with something like Stardew Valley, but that's been done. I think someone's done it's like Sensible Soccer meets Stardew, isn't it? Pokemon? I don't know.
No.
No. No.
There's
already a Pikachu in FM.
No, I don't care. I know it's his birthday, but no.
No. There will be
Sorry,
no.
All right.
No Pokemon on this podcast. So, Gears of War. There you go. Players are Oh, he's underperforming. Right. He's not going to the reserves. He's going to go fight the Locust Horde. That's how it's going to work this week. That's the system. That's Rich's system. I like that. The extended FM universe, it just makes sense. It makes nothing but sense to me. Nothing but sense. D. No, D just picked one. Jeb, pick a number. Any of the numbers remaining on the board, please and thank you.
I'm also going to add in just any of the Far Cry series because that represents your chairman. Asking him for something. Any of them. You can pick. You can have a variety of chairmen. They can be South American. They can be backwards American. Yeah, whichever one. Right. 3.
Number 3.
Yeah.
Number 3. This is a question from the birthday boy himself, Steakety Bakety. What are each of your favourite roles in FM24? And did that differ from other FMs? Or have you always been loyal to that position? Thank you, Stakey. Solid question from a solid human being. Jeb, favourite role? What you got for me?
Picking on me after I've just sneezed 4 times. It's fine. But yes.
Time your sneeze is better.
Yeah, sorry. God.
Yeah.
Who was the question from?
Steak.
Stakely Bakely.
Oh, it's from Steak. Trying to think.
Steak bake.
Sorry, I had to do that bit. Anyway.
It was coming, wasn't it? It was coming.
Yeah. It's probably Advanced Playmaker this time over CM on Attack. Because CM on Attack was OP for like 3 or 4 game cycles.
Mm-hmm.
I seem to be getting more out of the Advanced Playmaker this time around. Basically where I play Curtis Jones. That's how he's done really well this time. I don't know. We still don't know where the crossover, what crosses over, what didn't cross over M23, but yeah, it's probably me.
It's fair. It's fair.
Not these fancy inverted wing backs or anything.
Oh,
Bullbacks.
no.
What's the
Absolutely
rubbish?
not.
Yeah,
No.
waste of time.
Under no circumstances.
Inverted wing back? No. One that I've used a lot this year that I actually have had a lot of fun with is the Metzala. I didn't use it much last year. I think, well, yeah, of course it was in last year. But yeah, I didn't use it much or at all. But this year, I very first tactic I put together an FM24. I had, because I was wild. I had 2. I liked it so much. I had two Metzalas and a DLP in the middle, and it was great. I loved it. So yeah, the Metzala is one that I've used quite a lot this year, and yeah, very happy I added it to the fold.
I had double Mez in 22.
Mm-hmm.
Elise and Harvey Elliott for Bournemouth.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I did the exact same thing. Retro Sheffield Wednesday, I think, on 22. Double Metzala, centre mid on attack in between them with a deep line playmaker behind them. And they just scored goals.
Yeah.
Everybody just scored so many goals.
Which one was Carlton Palmer?
He wasn't at Wednesday at the time, so none of them.
And you didn't sign him?
Tried. Constantly turns me down, does Carlton. Constantly breaks my heart.
Classic Carlton.
Textbook Carlton. I am a very, very big fan of either a shadow striker. I love a shadow striker because those little runs into the box, linking everything up, makes me very, very happy. So if I've got a formation that has some form of attack, more central attacking midfielder in it, shadow striker. Or I suppose the more obvious one, but I will prefix this by saying I only like it as a role if I can have a minimum of 6 of them, is trequartista.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
if you can't get a Trequartista to work in your system, and it's not very often we actually get deep down into the nitty gritty of tactics, but welcome to the serious tactics segment of the podcast. If you're using a Trequartista in your system on Football Manager and it's not working, it's because you don't have enough of them.
Yep.
So one Trequartista isn't working for you. 2 Trequartistas. 2,
keep going.
Double it. 4 Trex isn't really doing it for you. Slide a 5th in there. Go on, have 5.
Go on.
Have an entire midfield 5 of Trex. And then you know what? 3 Trequartistas ahead of them in the striker roles. Do that as well. Go on, live your life.
Yeah.
Be brave. Experiment. Kiss Olivier Giroud. Live your life. Do what you want.
Play the Octo Trek.
Play the Octo Trick. Trek. Play the Octo Trek. Smooch Olivier. Just exist. Go on. You'll have a good time.
Is this like the intro to like Trainspotting 3?
I think so, yeah.
Choose
Trainspotting
life. Choose the Octo Trek. Kiss
Olivier Giroud. Just get off with Olivier Giroud. Just do it.
It's got to be done.
Just do it. Just kiss Olivier. Just kiss him. Oh, what a man. What a player.
Steak bake.
That's the end of his
Thank you,
question.
Jakey. That's the end of that section. I need a cold shower. Goodness gracious me. I don't have one, so let's choose a number instead. I'm going to choose number 5. Question number 5 comes from Ramster. It's a 2-parter question from Ramster. Question number 1, part 1. Who is your favorite other member of the podcast?
Steak bake.
Yeah.
It is clearly
There
Steak
you go.
Bake. Happy birthday, Steakity Bakety.
Yeah.
I think
Well
we can
done.
all agree on that one.
Yeah.
Or, given as it's transfer deadline day, at the time of recording, it is transfer deadline day. Who is your favorite deadline day signing IRL for your own club or in FM that you've made? In case we don't want to answer the first question. Well, Ramster, we answered both. Ironically, the answer to both of those is Steak Bake. Weirdly enough, I'm pretty sure he turned out for Wednesday a couple of years ago. Oh, no, I'm confusing him. Sorry, I'm confusing him with the real answer to that question. Arguably one of the greatest transfer deadline day signings ever. I think it was a transfer deadline day signing. It feels like it was. Aidan McGeady.
Oh,
Turned up at the Wednesday and was so distinctly average, but I did not care at all because we'd signed Aidan McGeady and I was over the moon, absolutely over the moon at that one. Had no right turning up there. Nobody knew who was coming. Very much like Mary Poppins. He flew in on an umbrella, landed, played a few games, then off he went again, as if nothing
did a couple
had
of
ever
spins
happened.
and then
Spun around in circles a little bit, and then off he went.
the human
yeah.
Beyblade. That was Aidan McGeady.
That's what they call him. That is exactly what they call him. You had to put a piece of string in him and just like pull it out really, really fast, and then round and round he went. Gross. Dee. How would you make Aidan McGeady spin? No.
Deadline day signing. I'm going to go for one in FM, mainly because of nearly all of West Brom's business is done on a deadline day. So anyone that's stuck around, anyone that's played more than a minute of football for us, I'm going to go for a new gen in my on the med save called Hakan Şahin. He was a Turkish guy. He was at Leicester and they weren't playing him. And I signed him for Napoli whilst I was there. And I'm pretty confident him joining was the reason we won everything. Because the year he joined, he played 12 games in the league. He's centre mid. He played 12 games. He got 6 goals, an assist, 3 man of the matches, and got a 7.37 rating in 12 games. And was basically the best player I've ever had. And he's not even like looking at his attributes. He's nothing special. He's nothing special. Very championship, argue like top end championship level player. But I just needed a centre mid. And I was like, oh, he'll do for 17 million. Unbelievable. And then I signed him again when I joined Barcelona. So
Nice.
Hakan Şahin.
Nothing wrong with signing the same player over and over and over and over again in a save. Hello, Toplovich. I love you. Jeb, look, I can think of a couple of absolutely sensational Liverpool transfer deadline day signings. Have you got a personal favourite?
31st of January 2011, Liverpool signed a striker. Prolific one. Andy Carroll.
Yes, they did.
Also
Yes,
signed
yes,
another one called Luis
they
Suarez,
did.
22 million. We've already mentioned it. Changed the
Yeah.
game, changed everything around. That was the same season. Hodgson had been sacked just before, and we had Milan Jovanovic, who headbutted the floor trying to head the ball from a low position. I might put the clip in the link in the YouTube comment. But yeah, there's that one. There's a few. I can't actually think of too many. I think Dele Alli in the network save. He was a free transfer deadline day signing, and of course he got the pre-assist for the winning goal from Ocean Man. So yeah,
The pre-assist.
Yeah, exactly.
Woke nonsense. There you.
It's a goal contribution in my eyes.
Well, game's gone. That's why I'm
What's
here.
the future?
I'm inclined to agree with them. Terrible. Yeah, we all enjoyed Dele Alli, didn't we? As a signing, we all enjoyed that on the network save. What a player! What a man! What a human being! D, pick a number, any number.
Ooh, I'm gonna go for number 8, just to balance the visual out. So there's 2 kits on each side.
The Ocho, number 8. This comes from Mr. Teeny. Hello, Mr. Teeny. Thank you very much for your question and your databases and all your hard work on all the wonderful mods that we play. Mr. Teeny would like to know our favourite Twitch saves of this year.
Ooh.
Got a personal favourite, D?
Wow. I really enjoyed, I've already mentioned him, Gavin Brash. He did Contractually Obligated. I really enjoyed that. I watched a lot of that this year. I'm not going to, none of mine. Hated them all. Hated them. Rubbish. I do have to say as well, actually, what's the story Morning Glory? I had a lot of fun watching that and hanging out in your streams as well.
Morning Glory.
What's the story? Former Glory. You know what I meant.
Right, you just do the what's the story, then he does the former bit.
Oh, good point. Yeah, I had a lot of fun watching what's the story.
Former
Glory this year. That was good. Yeah, I'm gonna say Gav's Contractually Obligated. I watching that from start to finish was a pretty epic journey.
It's fair. And an epic journey it was. Bless him. What a time was had by all. Jeb, give us a favourite. Go on. Something that stood out to you this year.
Cody Rhodes won the 2023 Royal Rumble. He went on to wrestle. Yeah, no, exactly. He went on to wrestle Roman Reigns in the main event, WrestleMania, and lost. And almost the next year, he won the Royal Rumble again. He finished the story.
No.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he won it again. Won in the main event at WrestleMania last year. It was great. FM25, the United City FM, tried to go home. Couldn't. Because the game kind of broke. Couldn't finish the story. This year, he's rolling in the aisles. Finished the story. Sadly with Manchester United. But still finished the story and got to a Champions League final after starting out with nothing. And he was in Wales. He was at Richmond? Yeah, he was at Richmond, wasn't he? He was almost. Oh, look at me, I'm Ted Lasso. Yeah, it was lovely to watch Kev finish the story, and then he's finished all his other stories as well, and just started some new ones. So lovely.
Oh, what a beautiful man. His love of the new Thierry Henry, the massive Brazilian striker.
Yeah.
Ever so satisfying to watch Kev pull that one off this year, especially, as I say, after the absolute shocker he had through no fault of his own with trying to make his way home last year. Couldn't be done. So ever so lovely to see one of the nicest people in the world accomplish their hopes and dreams. Lovely stuff. Lovely. Well done, Kevsy. I'm going to be really, really selfish here, and I'm going to name one of my saves. Collectively, our save, really. My favourite thing this year about Football Manager, I will say Callum's Slough save has been a close second, but I think that's just because of everything that's happened around it, going and spending the day down at Arbour Park with him last summer with Jeb, walking around, holding a microphone and talking to people on his behalf was an absolute treat. And it was just really nice to be part of that story. So Callum Slough Town takes a close second, but I think the network save for me this year has been probably my favourite bit of FM content. I don't even think content's the right word. If we had done it off stream, just everybody, and that's obviously extends to Kev and to Alice as well, and to Stakey. If we'd just done it off stream together, I would have had an equally good time playing that save. Just 8 seasons of hanging out and spending time with my friends. And I think that's probably one of the best things that you can do on Football Manager. And in general, it's a wonderful thing to be able to do. Had an amazing time, laughed a lot, played a game I really, really like, and did it with friends. So for that reason, for me, FMT Network Save wins. It's been an absolute treat. But don't get me wrong, there's been loads and loads of wonderful saves out there, loads and loads of great streamers, loads of great content creators putting their work out there on the internet for people to watch, and it's been lovely, but got to be a bit selfish. FMT Network Save has been the one for me.
I think also just to continue the nepotism, not slight nepotism, Tony's Pentagon attempt, like that was really enjoyable to watch.
Yeah,
he just gave up, didn't he? He was just, I'm just going on a nice little tour of the world. That's it. We're just going to go to places. Might play some football while we're there. Who knows? Let's see. And to be fair, actually, as a little bit of a reinvigoration, Tony's Newport stuff now, that's actually definitely brought me back a little bit into the game. I had to sit and babysit to stream the other night, unfortunately, but not unfortunately, that's a horrible way to say it, but I sat and babysat and stream, and while I was doing it, I was just playing FM in the background, so it's reinvigorated my love. I also laughed with Murph earlier. Murph's playing Football Manager again today. He really, really ruined that pod for you guys a couple of weeks ago. He said, I'm never playing it again.
Ruined everything.
Yeah, still playing it.
Damn it, Murph.
No, exactly.
It's fine.
Bless him. Absolutely. He knows what he's doing, the big handsome boy. He knows exactly what he's doing. But again, that's the really nice thing about it. Just watching other people enjoy themselves reinvigorates your enjoyment for the game. Even better. What an absolute result.
But
that has been for everybody involved.
I think on the Tony one as well, it's a new way of somebody playing the game as well. It's literally having somebody just sat there telling him what to do, which helps him along. Like with the Lujo the other night, he was top of the league, scoring loads of goals. So I think he's got Zealand and Clates coming up to help him, and then he's got Steve Sidwell in between. So maybe it's a different way to play things. Maybe people can do a co-manager stream. It's maybe something we can look into. Could we do a 4-way co-manager stream? Would that just be hideous? We don't know.
Oh, it'd be a mess, but we should absolutely give it a go.
Yeah, 100% need to do it. Yeah. Not about whether it's good or not.
Yeah.
Oh, have we just stumbled across?
How do we replace the network save on Mondays?
We get a game, and you could have just somebody who's the director of football, somebody who does the tactics, somebody who picks the team.
It's all coming together, isn't it? It's all coming together.
And then somebody does all the boring stuff like training.
And I somehow become the kit man. Yes! The dream. Ironing miniature shirts.
Dee's obviously doing the press conferences because he does them all.
Yeah. So. Yeah. They'll be. We won't waste any time in them, though. It'll be over in a second on it.
Yeah. We can get them done, and we can get them done quickly. We're an efficient press machine.
Being the director of football is great as well. Like, it's August 31st. I'll see you later. I'll be back. I'll be back in a few months.
Oh, bless. It's not a bad idea, that. It's not a bad idea. Right. Anybody who's watching or listening to this, goes,
we'll cut it out. Brilliant. We'll just cut this bit
Don't
out.
do it.
We're going to cut
You're
it
not
out.
allowed. You're not allowed.
No.
Yeah. That was the question. So, Mr. Teeny asked, what's your favourite Twitch save of the year? No. Okay. Oh, lovely. I've forgotten whose turn it is to pick a question. It's Jeb's. Jeb, pick a number, any number.
Number 11.
Number 11. This is from Pazpro.
Read carefully. I'm going to consume it.
You can't make me. It's okay. I can't see the word consumption in this question, so I think we're going to be okay. Right, so here's the question. Would parity in Europe make European competitions more interesting than PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and the Premier League building their super teams? Or are these super teams adding to the experience, especially for a casual viewer?
Can I start?
Please do.
Champions League last week
Mhm.
kind of shows to me that there already is parity. That Champions League final day, your top 8 should have been the 4 Premier League teams and PSG, Real, and Barcelona, and then somebody else. It wasn't that.
Mhm.
It was 3 of the Premier League teams, Barcelona, but the other ones didn't get through. Bayern weren't there. Man City finished 23rd, and now they've got to play. Yeah, that as a spectacle, I think there was a lot of people doubting how that Champions League format would work. But as a last day spectacle, to play all those 13 games at once, and was it Dortmund went from 2nd to 13th? Oh, I think that was the week before, but they went from 2nd to 13th when they were 1-0 up and then lost 2-1. But I think, yeah, I think there is that parity there. I think the Super League did kick a lot of things around, like kicked the Hornets nest. I mean, look at what happened with Forest at the weekend. They turned around from getting beat 5-0 from Bournemouth to beating Brighton 7-0. And I don't know if you've seen, but there's a pub that's around the corner from me, and they got Sky Sports in the pub, or TNT, and they celebrated it by saying, every goal that Forest score, we'll give you a free pint. They gave away 1,500 quid's worth of beer on Saturday afternoon. Also explained why my chippy was empty at 6 o'clock on a Saturday night. It's probably because everyone was just hammered. Instead of being like double parked, they were 2 parked. Just like, God, 7 pints here. Like,
See, I when I saw that news story, for some reason in my head, it's that old Simpsons bit, isn't it, where they where it's the Prohibition episode where they're like, oh no, people don't drink Duff for the alcoholic content; they drink it for its robust taste. It's like, yeah, we can afford to give away a free pint every time Forest score, and then like 2 seconds later, it's just like, well, that's the end of me, as they nailed the pub shut forever. We're never going to financially recover from this. Oh, it's absolutely superb. Absolutely, yeah. I fully agree with you, Jeb. I think that especially the new Champions League format, and you know, sometimes it's hard to forget that, because you know, we as FM players, it's been something that's been around in our consciousness for quite a long time. But you know, in reality, this is the first time a lot of people are seeing it, and it's a newer thing. But I think it adds that level of it. I think it does even the playing field in that respect. You know, I think previously, and we've all had it on FM saves years gone by, for example, when you're managing a lower reputation European club and you make your way into a major competition for the first time, you know full well that there are probably going to be 2 teams in your group with you that are going to absolutely turn you over with their reserves, home and away. It's got in your group. It's going to happen. Maybe you beat the other team. You try and scrape a point here and there and cross your fingers and hope for Europa League, or, you know, the new format balances the playing field for me. Everybody has more to play for. Like you say, you've got teams that are based on a 1-goal swing going from 13th to 2nd and vice versa. It really does level that playing field a little bit more. And I think that, you know, and again, we all know that, you know, Champions League money is some of the best money in world football. And if you have a club that is capable of qualifying for that competition, you are to an extent going to have a chance to at least compete to some extent. There are always going to, you know, you look at that table, there are still teams that have struggled. There are teams that you wouldn't expect to have struggled in the way that they did. Take players like Leipzig, for example. I think they 3 points across the entire group stage this season. You'd expect a Leipzig to do better. But it levels it out and it tells nicer stories. It's a much more, for me, the Champions League group stage this year has been more exciting and more enjoyable than most that I can think of from seasons gone by. You know, you think of your one-off or your fluke Champions League, you know, group stage results. Like I remember being sat in a pub, being away with work, watching Celtic beat Barcelona. like in one of the most one-sided games in footballing history, that somehow Celtic came out the winning side on. Like, that's a lovely moment. That's a one-off, but this gives it the opportunity for better stories to be told over a much longer period of time. So I'm all for it. I think it's great. I think to an extent that parity is already there.
Yeah, I like you say, my only real experience of the way the Champions League and whatnot is done now is through FM. Really, I don't really watch it on TV or whatever. But yeah, I do like the new way that they've got it with the league phase and stuff. Like you say, you're both completely right. It has kind of leveled the playing field. I think yesteryears when it was. If you looked at every group, you'd be like, you'd know who the two teams were every single time. And if one of them didn't, that was, oh, whoa, that's a big shock. But if it was still in that format, then I would maybe think, yeah, there'd be something that needs to change. Perhaps change it to some sort of league phase instead. But they did that, and it's great, and I love it. I'm all for it. I actually, I do prefer it to the older way because, like you say, I can be rubbish little Aarhus from L and somehow scrape a victory against PSG, and that's what's got me just enough points to qualify in that top 8, so I go straight to the round of 16. And that's quite a fun story that could be told in that environment instead of it just being the usual top 8.
Yeah.
There's also, I think there is, and this is, I think, where Pals Pro's come from, but something needs to be done about Premier League to the Championship. That's needs to be addressed sooner rather than later, because that's the 3 teams that have come up this season are struggling really badly. Starting to show how bad it is. Ipswich might get out of it, but probably not. So yeah, they might all go straight back down, and that's kind of happened for the last few seasons. So
well, Ipswich have just nicked our keeper. They've just bought Alex Palmer. So
well, it's the one thing that they have needed is a decent keeper, because the one
hopefully he does a good job for him.
But yeah, it's it'll be interesting. Like, I think it's the way football is, unfortunately. But teams like Leeds, Burnley signing Marcus Edwards with, to be fair, a very good announcement video today.
So good. Such a good announcement
apart from
video.
Marcus Edwards acting, he's awful. Like, unbelievable. Just got to say these 2 words. Oh my God. Wow. Okay, you got to say them like that. Yeah. But yeah, no, really good video. But yeah.
Yeah, it's great. You do get the impression that I get is that a lot of promoted teams over the last few years, and I think we've talked about this briefly on pod before, especially when we've talked about approaching transfer windows, it feels like a lot of clubs that are coming up from the Championship, especially clubs that may not have spent that much time in the Premier League recently. It feels like they're building really, really, really good Championship teams that they know they'll be able to keep hold of 70% of those new signings if and when they get relegated, because chances are they probably will get relegated. But then that team, combined with parachute payments, is going to give them a significantly better chance of getting promoted again. And you become that yo-yo club, don't you, until you establish yourself, until you've actually bought enough good players it's going to take you maybe 2 or 3 attempts until you've got a squad that is Premier League ready. I mean, I vividly remember, and this is going back a long, long ways, Sunderland, and you're going back to probably around, the late part of the 2000s, watching them on Match of the Day one night. I think even one of the commentators made a point of saying it was after a period of yo-yoing for them up and down. Even one of the commentators said, look, this is the first time that, this Sunderland team looks like a Premier League team. I remember thinking, actually, yeah, it does a little bit, doesn't it? It feels like a Premier League squad now. But it had taken them a really, really good long while to build that team through a combination of promotions and relegations. And that's very much what you feel like is happening now. But then again, it can also go wrong. Like Luton, like they're sat 23rd in the Championship at the moment. Wednesday couldn't beat them at the weekend. But again, they've come down from the Premier League and they're really, really struggling. So it's not always the recipe for success, but then it does that. It puts that bigger gap in the Championship as well, which I've always said I think is one of the most competitive leagues in European football. It's an absolute bugger to get into, especially coming up through. It's easier to get into, I think, than it is, coming up from the lower leagues. But once you're there, look up a lot of people that do journeyman saves or, one club saves with English clubs. A lot of the time, the Championship is the one that takes you the longest to get out of because of that. There's some of the clubs that you are playing. Callum talks about this quite a lot. I remember in the early days of Bill Slough, you get up into the Championship. To an extent, he had what was essentially a decent League One team, playing against what were essentially Premier League squad standard teams because they'd had bad seasons in the Premier League and been relegated, but kept hold of those players. So it's very difficult to get out of going up. But most clubs that have been in the Premier League in the last 3 or 4 years have a significantly better chance of being promoted again if they've managed to keep hold of those multi-million-pound players that you can only sign, most clubs, when you have that Premier League promotion and then parachute money. So sort that out. Some kind of European league where there's just 48 teams in the Championship. That's what I'm hearing is the solution here.
Yeah. But then also, I think we do have to acknowledge that Forest, whoever their director of football, whoever's provided the signing, is definitely an FM player. The amount of players they've signed, and every FM player's gone, oh, he's a player, and everyone's gone, no, he's not. Who is he? Never heard of him. No, you'll see.
Yeah.
It kind of like it's coming to fruition, like Milinkovic. Everyone knew how good he was. Everyone knew he was 6'4", he could head the ball, and look at him. He's absolutely dominating the back. You go back
Thriving.
Yeah, exactly. Chris Wood, Jesse Lingard, John Joe Shelby, all those FM.
Anthony
there
Elanga.
are a few. If you do sign 60 players in 3 seasons, you do have a couple of misses, but yeah. Actually, you say about Anthony Elanga, he's been one of the best players.
He has. He's been great, hasn't he? He's been really, really good. So is Callum Hudson-Odoi. Like, it's bonkers. Yeah. Easily done. Right. We've got 3 questions left, fellas. I've got to choose the next one. I'm going to choose question number 2, which has come from podcast listener Tom from Tarn. Hello, Tom. Thanks for your question. Tom's question is, what career path should I choose when starting my The Sims playthrough? I feel like I'm qualified to answer this. Tom, you start with a samurai build because you get the Uchi Katana very, very, very early. Avoid the tree sentinel when you first see him because the game just puts him in there just to like lull you into a false sense of security that you should attack everything that you see. Avoid him. Spend a bit of time exploring dungeons, find as many smithing stones as you can, upgrade your Uchi Katana, and then also don't get into a swimming pool because somebody will take the ladder out of it and you will drown.
Yeah.
Said.
Yeah. That or Criminal. Criminal's quite fun.
Yeah.
Criminal's quite fun because you get to rob stuff. And that's
do something that you're definitely not going to do in real life.
Yeah, 100%.
So, yeah,
don't be an influencer. Don't do the social
6.
media stuff.
Yeah.
Don't build a shed. No matter how much you want to build a shed, don't build a shed.
Yeah.
Can I just publicly say that I really like Dark Souls now? No, that's the wrong game. Hate Dark Souls. Dark Souls is terrible. Elden Ring, though.
Yeah.
Elden Ring's really good. I like Elden Ring now. It's taken 6 weeks, but I'm quite into it. There we go. Who saw that coming? Not me.
Tell you what, pick a number between 1. Oh God, there's loads. 1 and 30.
24. Were you going to say 24?
I stopped myself from saying 24 because you started before me.
I don't know if there was 30 things listed on here, but I'll count from 6 from the bottom. So it's not writer, it's not video game streamer, it's not tech guru, it's not style influencer, it's not social media. But guess what it is?
Go on.
Soccer team player.
Yes.
I like that.
You do have to download the University expansion pack, which will cost you £40, like all the expansion packs.
Worth it. So worth it, though.
Or you can get them from somewhere else. I did enjoy a meme that I saw the other day of somebody turning on the laptop, and they turned the laptop on. I was like, me started with my girlfriend starting up The Sims 4 with 24 expansion packs, and it's like an air tunnel, just the fans on the laptop just blowing out. Oh yeah, it's fine.
It's supposed to make this noise.
Yes.
Just 2 people like in an old-timey steam train just shoveling coal in the back. No, it's going to be fine. So
The Sims, similar to FM, is a gateway drug to a lot of people of video games.
Yeah. To be fair, I do actually quite like The Sims. To be fair, as a game, it is a lot of fun. It's very dumb.
I've never Simsed. I've never done it.
I did during the lockdown. I actually had a lockdown challenge where I wasn't allowed to interact with anybody physically. So I had
What?
like
Lockdown.
In The Sims.
That's all that. Yeah.
exactly, yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, I did lockdown in The Sims. So I had a house, but it had like an entry portal, and the people allowed to stay in the entry portal. There was a glass wall. Actually, wait a minute, that's called prison, isn't it? Oh well, never mind.
Yes.
Right, next number.
I'm going to go with number 10, please.
Question number 10. This question comes from friend of the podcast, one of our Booderinos, Franco. Hello, Franco. Thank you for your question. I like Franco's question. How is everybody, really? I like that question a lot. Dee, how are you, mate? You all right?
I'm doing okay. I'm doing all right, thank you. There was last week was long. I mentioned obviously I went to go and watch Bullet and Trivium with Gav, and that was wicked, and I loved that. But it was a very busy week, and once again, I sort of had to remind myself, stop trying to do everything. Say no to some stuff. Give yourself that time to relax. And obviously we're not recording this on the usual night we did, and there was actually something really helpful that we kind of didn't do it last night, because it was like, this is it. This is the little gap that I needed. And I felt so refreshed and ready. So it sort of reminded me I need to remember to take some time out for myself. In general, I'm doing fine, but the last week I was just shattered, just up and down the M40 and standing for 6 hours watching loud angry men, and then I went to a gig.
Trivium gig. Yeah.
Then you went to We were all going there. Not the Trivium gig, just the pun. It was easier. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? It's hard to sometimes just take a little step back. I completely understand where you're coming from. I'm doing this week. My social calendar is probably more full than it will be for the remainder of this year. I'm doing more in the next 6 days socially than I normally do in a 6-month period. I'm very much looking forward to it. Very much looking forward to everything that I'm doing over the next 6 days. But I know that come this time next week, I will essentially, I'll probably just have like a little whiteboard and a pen, and I'll just hold up what I want to say on it, because I'm going to have no words left. I'm going to have absolutely, I'm going to be done by that point. But I'm telling myself that it's these, don't get me wrong, it makes it sound like I've got a massive hardship ahead of me. Basically, I'm just seeing lots and lots of my friends over the next week. And I've got a really nice date night with my wife organised, which I'm very, very excited about, because we very rarely get to go out and spend time together, just the two of us. And, it's the hit and miss moments for us, because we go out and we're like, right, do we actually still like each other? Because most of the time we spend with each other, we're either parenting or we're too tired to talk to each other. So it's like, oh God, we're going to have to converse and make nice. And it works out quite well. We do quite like each other, as it turns out, which is lovely. But I'm also very much looking forward to having downtime the week after to recover. It's a nice thing to be able to do. But yeah, it's good that you're self-aware enough to be able to recognize when you're doing too much as well. That's a really, really difficult thing to do. I'm bad at it, but it's good to hear that you are not, which is pleasant. I'm very, very happy about you.
It's burnout. I've had burnout before, and it is an absolute mood killer. To put it lightly. So yeah, I've tried to sort of just be a little bit more conscious as I start getting to those moments where I'm like, you're going to burn yourself out if you're not careful. But yeah. How about you, Jeb? How have you been doing? How are you actually doing?
I had a lot of burnout at the start of the year, like an intense work project that went well, but didn't go well at the same time. So client base, it went really well. Back end of it, my side of it, wasn't going great. So addressing that and various things with work, and then just not getting a lot done. And I think it was becoming frustrating. Yeah, kind of had a couple of rants and things like that, and discussions with my boss and stuff. And they've all turned out lovely, to be fair, how we've gone about it. And then like last week, played football, enjoyed that, played FM a bit as well, and then my back went, oh no God. But then like even this weekend was lovely. I saw Taff and Matt watch a Royal Rumble with them. I went to see one of my old uni friends. The last time I saw her was, I think, during first lockdown. last time I saw her. Now she has 2 children, so it's just like,
Wow.
yeah, it's one of those. So it's going over to see her. It's very nice because I realise I've known her for 20 years now. She's one of my best friends. I've not seen her for ages, and just seeing her in this environment with children, it was very funny because she was very hungover as well because she'd been out drinking the entire day before. So watching her cope with crazy children running around, I was just tired. But yeah, it was lovely to see that. Yeah, I think it's a bit more positive. Like some of the things I was just looking through, like I made like the Twitch goals. Not Twitch goals, the goals on Twitch from a year and things I want to do. I've ticked off some of those things. I've seen people that I don't see all the time. Technically, I saw Matt twice in 7 days, and I probably saw Matt once all of last year. So it's those nice things. I've seen Matt 3 times now in 3 months. So that's really lovely. And I think it's just not being afraid to say no on things like that and getting out there a little bit more. It's like I'm doing something fun this weekend with 2 other people. Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting out there. Like I've got plans to maybe go see Port Vale, like as well. Unless I want to go see some football games, so yeah, I might get that out of the way. Do some stuff like that. Yeah, it's going better. It's going better, definitely. The back is not in as much pain. I just need to look after myself a little bit.
Well, that's part of the dream, isn't it? Like you get to a certain age, and less back pain becomes the metric rather than none. No back pain. That's a young man's game.
Yeah.
That's a pipe dream.
Just making noise when you stand up. That's all you want. Not making noise because you're in pain. You just make noise.
Yeah, a little bit of back pain. I was sat in a meeting with a colleague yesterday, and sorry, not yesterday. Today is Monday. Friday last week. Sometimes I like going into schools and having meetings when nobody's there. Sat with a colleague, and my left shoulder has been bad for about a decade. Like I've had ultrasounds, I've had X-rays, and they keep going, "No, it's fine." And then no, just touch it, just put your hand on it, and let me move it. And everyone goes, "Oh, it's not supposed to do that." And then I can do it. I can hear. I'm moving it now because if I don't move it around enough, it gets even more sore. I can hear it and I can feel it crunching. I was sat next to a colleague, and she went, "What's that noise?" I was like, "That's my shoulder." And she went, "Is that what happens when you get old?" Yeah, I suppose it is.
Yeah, it just
That's
is.
the level now. So you just walk around all day and your shoulder hurts. I'm like, yeah, but some days it hurts less than other days, and that's the win. That's the result. This is what we play for. I kiss the badge. I'm delighted. But you can't wish for no pain at all. That's just unrealistic.
It's not gonna happen.
But you've raised another very good point there as well, Jeb. Sometimes it's okay to say no to things, like something that can be really, really daunting at the best of times. I used to suffer really badly with really, really bad FOMO. I was always convinced that if I said no to something, then it was going to be the most amazing thing that ever happened. And I'd be devastated that I missed it. So I'd say yes to everything. And then more often than not, what would actually happen is that I would just flake out on that thing at the absolute last possible second and just not go. And that's actually worse than saying no in the first place. But that caused me less anxiety than straight up just saying no to somebody's face. Because that was, you can't do that. That's awful. Your friends don't say no to friends. They do. They say no to them all the time, and rightly so. Because you've got to put yourself first. Always got to put yourself first. And if you've got a friend and you're worried that your friend might take you saying no to something really, really, really badly, then maybe they're not being as good a friend to you as they possibly could be. So give your friends the chance. If you say I'm busy or I can't at the moment, or what I say to people quite a lot of the time, I physically don't have the capability to do that. People understand. Give your friends a chance. They're going to get it. Nobody's going to be cross with you. Do that. Be kind to yourself. That's the thing to do. Be nice to you.
Drop that old friend a message. Like I messaged my friend.
Yeah.
While I was on the way to Taft's on Saturday night, I was like, "What are you doing tomorrow? I know you got 2 kids and stuff. Pop round to a coffee." Lovely. Yeah.
That's it. I saw a really heartwarming picture on my Facebook the other day, and it was 2 lads I went to school with that just met up randomly and hung out with each other last weekend. And I was like, that's just really nice. That's just, and it just came from one of them just out of the blue messaging the other one. Let's meet up, like say, Jeb, let's meet up for a coffee. Let's do something. And I was like, that is pleasant. I really, really liked that.
Why don't we meet up this weekend for like a football, go watch football or something?
Yeah, I'm up for that.
Yeah.
Can we do it? Can we do it fairly close to where I live, so I have to travel the least distance?
Sure, but yeah, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's fairly, can we go and watch my football team then? Because your team's very, very difficult to get tickets for, Jeb.
Yeah. Can we do it early as well, like around lunchtime?
Yeah.
I don't feel as bad.
I
if
would
I'm
also.
having a pie. I don't really want a pie at like 3:45.
Yeah.
No.
Like if I'm having a pie, I'd rather have it around lunchtime than not having like.
Mhm.
I'm trying to lose weight, so I don't want to have lunch and then have a pie and then have
very
breakfast to that as well.
very
That makes sense.
understandable.
No, it makes sense. Makes sense. If we're going to meet up to watch, I know I've been selfish and said, can we do it close to me? But if we're going to do it early in the day, can we also watch my football team at the same time? Because I like to watch my football team early in the day, so when they're bad, it hasn't ruined the entire day. I've still got the afternoon to get over it.
That's very reasonable.
Okay.
Yeah. I think all of those things will line up.
Oh, that's good.
Nice. What a fortuitous turn of events that is.
Yeah, exactly.
Who saw that very specific set of circumstances coming to fruition in such a short time? Yeah. Let's do that. Or could it also be like in terms of like above sea level, one of the highest grounds in the country?
Oh, well, just the
Oh,
high.
yeah.
I feel like I'm just.
We're going to Oldham.
I feel like I'm moving the goalposts now.
Yeah. Going to Oldham. Wow.
Yeah.
That's cold.
Nowhere near where you live.
Is it? Geography is not my strong suit. You could tell me that I live 20 minutes away from Oldham and I would believe you.
With 20 minutes away from Oldham.
Makes sense. Makes sense. It's just part of the map I haven't unlocked yet. That's the problem. Every time I get close to it, it's just like really steamy and it looks like Silent Hill 2.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh no.
Haven't completed
Don't
enough
wanna go there.
missions.
That's what
to
Oldham
unlock.
actually looks like, though. So.
Is that Oldham's just Silent Hill 2. Weird headless nurses just chase you around everywhere.
Cool. FMT popular in Oldham and Hull after today's podcast.
Anywhere else?
Yeah, I did. You know, Jeb, you talked about your bucket list or things you want to do this year. I'd like to, dare I say it, because every time we've mentioned it in the last couple of years, it's been cursed and hasn't happened. But I'd like to do something live at some point in the next 12 months. That would be a really, really nice thing to do. So I'll start pricing up venues in Oldham and or Hull by the sounds of things.
Super convenient for all of us to get to, and
Yeah.
be nice and empty.
Absolutely. It makes sense. I like to travel for my emptiness. That's part of it. Good. There's one question left.
Yeah, it's my question. So it was number 12. We started with number
Question
1.
number
We just
12.
didn't go the right order in the middle of it.
We just didn't go the right order. did we?
Yeah.
No.
12.
Steak bake.
Thank you. I won't read it until I've heard his voice. Or you do it. Yeah. No, I can read it. Steak Bake would like to know, what's your favourite player on FM24, real or new gen? And then favourite of all time? That's a great question. Jeb, favourite FM24 player? And
Long
then
time ago
favourite-
now. But Dackers.
It's
Got to be
fair.
Dackers, hasn't it? Like
It's got to be.
all those goals in that season. Then
Mhm.
lots of seasons to be fair, but no, Dackers definitely
Many
my favourite.
seasons, yeah.
Yeah, many seasons. New gen wise, I've not really had one. I've just got all of these ridiculous strikers at Sheffield United, but none of them are actually turned out to be any good or scoring regularly. And then all time, still one for a striker. Toss up between Eva Moas on Championship Manager 2. And I think
Ooh.
people had in the 92-93 database, or might have been 94-95, one or the other. But you could get him in there because he had 20 strength, 20 stamina, 20 something else. Tackling, yes, because he was a centre back. Like he was 20s across the board. Unbelievable defender. And then the other one's John Paolo Basini. Talk about him all the time. Just that FM07 to 09 era. Scored goals for fun. Too many goals. Really good on that exploitative corner tactic. Played it to the outside of the box and they volleyed it in from the outside.
Nice. D, give me your favourite player on FM24 this year. Real or new gen, and then your favourite one of all time.
There's definitely a lot of honourable mentions. I mean, first one that comes to mind is going to be a new gen I signed in Gibraltar, whose name was Mike Hunt, and there's a reason I left a pause. And yeah, genuine name in a save where we had so many dumb nicknames. That was my favourite of the actual new gen names, and I obviously signed him for the name. Massinissa Saya is a new gen name I'm going to throw out there. He is a guy in my Aarhus save, an Algerian player, Algerian wonderkid, I would label him as, and he's the reason that we have won the Superliga, the Danish Superliga, several times, much like the previously mentioned player. Yeah, just a game changer. Just a game changer for my teams. Perfect on that centre midfielder on attack role. Just does bits, scores goals, does everything. I think he's been my leading goal scorer for 2 seasons in a row, and he's a centre mid, which is great. He's an Algerian Frank Lampard, if you want to think of him like that. And then real player. My favourite baggy of all time is Chris Brunt, but I think I'd go Thierry Henry. Thierry Henry is probably my favourite player of all time.
It's hard to compare the two. It's a coin toss, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Henry, Brunt, Henry.
Basically the same player, really.
Fundamentally the same, aren't they? Fundamentally the same person, same player. You know what to expect. You know what to expect when you see them both. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, shockingly enough, in terms of my favourite FM24 player, it's probably the man that I've spent a cumulative £230 million on. What's the story for McGlory in it? It's Luka Toplivic. He's so good. He's been fantastic at every club I've signed him for, all the way up from San Etienne through Ajax, just Porto, now doing bits for me. At Real Madrid, he's been fantastic. Absolutely love him. Really good. No, wait, did I get him at Dortmund?
I thought you did have him at Dortmund because didn't you sign him from Dortmund to Porto?
I did. He also went to. There was a club that I missed out on. There's a club that I managed that he didn't come to. That might have been Chelsea.
Might have been Chelsea. But yeah, he's been fantastic. He's come everywhere with me. He's been absolutely wonderful. You've spent so much money on him.
I've spent so much money on him. Oh my God, I've spent so much money on him. Completely unnecessarily in some cases as well. Didn't need him, but just went for it. So yeah, Toplivic has been absolutely fantastic. Favorite player of all time. There's 3. And I find it really, really, really hard to choose between the 3. One of them is Chris Brunt, even though he wasn't a Wednesday for the longest time. Cult hero. Scored against Leeds from 40 yards, and that's all you need to do to endear yourself to me. It's literally all you need to do. So Chris Brunt. Chris Waddle, for obvious reasons. Formative footballing years. Big mullet. Silly man. It's Chris Waddle, like absolute wonderful left foot. Weirdly, like left-footed Sheffield Wednesday players seem to do it for me. Strange.
And Chris's apparently.
And lads called Chris, yeah. But yeah, just magnificent on his day, completely unplayable. And then just to move the goalposts a little bit, I suppose, I'll go for another left-footed Sheffield Wednesday player, but this one's name isn't Chris. It's Barry Bannon, because of course it's Barry Bannon. Like he takes a lot of, he goes through periods. It's a really weird one. He's one of those divisive players amongst Sheffield Wednesday fans. Some of them say he does nothing, he's useless. Others swear that he's one of the best players the club's ever seen. I'm categorically in column 2 on that one. I think he's one of the best to ever do it for us. I love Barry Bannon. I love what he brings to the team. Wonderful player, absolute magician, left foot like to die for. Some say the greatest left-footed player ever, and I'm not going to disagree with them unless they're talking, Waddle or Brunt. Then maybe the only other ones that should enter into that conversation. Lionel, who never heard of him.
Just to cover on my side of things as well, Robbie Fowler and Gabriel Batistuta, what those two in there, because putting in real players. And then just one more, just because I've just remembered him, because I've seen my Pescara shirt behind him. Vigani at Pescara in the first season, he scored 67 goals. Like, he was just already there. He scored 67 goals.
Nuts.
Wow.
And he was bang average. Like, there was nothing special about him. I think he was just one. I think it was FM25. If you had likes big matches, they played out the skin, and he had likes big matches on, and everything was a big match in that season.
Everything's a big match when you're Pescara.
Yeah.
Just happy to be
After
there.
that, he took a load of drugs before he went on the pitch every time. One or the other. Likes big matches. It's a big match. Ready to go. Yeah.
I was like, okay, of course you do. That's some great ones. I'm going to throw a quick left field one out there, just a former Football Manager favourite, because he never gets mentioned. And again, I don't know if it's because I played it on the console port, but the Brazilian centre-back, Sydney, who may still exist, but...
Oh, probably.
Football Manager 2000 and I want to say 6, I had on a console. And for some reason, he was coming through at Benfica. He was like a young Brazilian centre-back. He was coming through at Benfica. And for some reason, he had like 20 for free kick taking. His free kick taking attribute was ridiculous. And you just put him in your team, and then you would just hope you got a free kick, because you never drilled them either, because it was the 2D match engine. And you'd see the little dots moving around, and they'd set up for the set piece, and you'd see that the wall get moved. You could see the wall moving ever so slightly from side to side. And then it was never drilled. It was always like the banana. It just went all the way around. And I was like, he shouldn't be doing this. It was wonderful. And then he never hit those heights again in FM. I think next iteration of FM, they've written, oh, God, we've given him 20. It was meant to be 2. We've given him 20 and just took it away from him. And I was like, oh, well, you're dead to me now. But back then, for those couple of seasons, he was the absolute boy. And there you go. There's your nostalgia. There's your beautiful nostalgia. We've answered a lot of questions tonight. And do you know what I regret? None of it.
Thank you, everyone, for sending in questions.
Thank you, everybody. That wasn't even all of them. We were sent dozens and dozens and dozens. I was expecting 2 or 3. We had an absolute boatload. So thank you, everybody that sent them in. Apologies if you sent a question in and we didn't get around to answering it, because there were just so many. We'll do this again sometime. We always say this when we do a Q&A, and then we forget, but we'll do another one, I promise. It feels very much like that was a podcast to me. I don't know about the two of you, but it feels quite
podcasty.
Mm-hmm.
There or thereabouts.
Yeah, there or thereabouts. Before we go then, before it's time for us to say goodbye, Jeb, if people wanted to watch you streaming, doing things on the internet, where could they find you doing those things?
Right, I'm just double checking Twitter, just in case there's been any announcements, the deadline day thing, and we're 16 minutes away from the deadline day closing. But no, Liverpool haven't signed any players, and also there's nothing about FM25.
Oh,
sorry,
okay.
But yeah, hopefully, I'd quite like the podcast to be outdated by the end of this week. So let's see how we get on. Mm-hmm. That's why we've not really talked about it that much. So yeah, I think it's for the best that way. But yes, twitch.tv/Jebaroo. I may play an FM, play other stuff. I don't know. See how we go this week. We may be doing a brand new version of the network save next Monday.
Can't wait.
Yeah, let's work out the logistics of that and see what we do. We might have stumbled across something.
We've cracked the code, boys.
Yeah.
We've cracked it. Yep. The algorithm is ours.
Dee, where can we find you?
Oh, if people want to find me on the old internet, they can come to twitch.tv/dboyplays. Also, obviously, go and check out the Birthday Boy at twitch.tv/the_steak_bake, and then just the steak bake on everything else. And happy birthday, Steaky.
Yeah,
Wish him happy birthday.
He's demanded that it be a birthday week.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
He did. So.
Demanding. If you're listening to this tomorrow, send, and you didn't to do it today, send Steaky Bakety a belated happy birthday message, please, and thank you. Appreciate that enormously. Sometimes I'm on the internet, twitch.tv/Rich Owens FM. It's quite good. We finished season 2 of the Retro Sheffield Wednesday save, which means we are What's the Story former glorying again. I'm trying to win that Champions League for Ocean Manswerk before he retires. If you're hearing that sentence for the first time and it doesn't make any sense to you, good. It shouldn't. Those are some words in order.
Did I tune in the other day and you were losing to Malaga as Real Madrid?
Yes, but then we pulled it back. I feel like we pulled it back.
Okay.
Might have
when you losing to Mallorca as well. Saw that as well. Anyway,
it's a fever dream. Weird fever dream. I beat other teams. It's quite nice. Every time I load it up, I forget I had you at previous clubs. It's like a who's who of my former clubs, all at Real Madrid. That was nice. Come hang out or don't. I'm not your dad. Can't make you. Thank you all for joining us for another episode of Football Manager Therapy. Appreciate you, however you are. If you're watching, listening, however you're consuming this podcast, we appreciate you enormously. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you on the next one. Take care. Love you lots. Bye-bye. Oh, he's still waving.
Still good. So good.
Never stop. Never stop. Oh, he stopped.